So, like many others, I've played a lot of video games. I have my PC here with a lot of games played on it. I have a cabinet there with a bunch of old consoles on it, and 2 more PCs and a VR headset. I play a lot of games, and many others do too. And there's one thing I've always wanted to do with these video games that maybe not everyone else shares their interest in, but some people definitely do. I want to make my own game. To make a game, you need game-making software. To make a game with game-making software, you need to know how to use said game-making software. This learning process can be incredibly overwhelming, primarily because of the need to be able to code. This is a very tough wall to overcome. I have touched many different programs trying to bypass these overwhelming factors, yet every time I found myself being limited in a way I didn't really want to be. Eventually, while I was tinkering with the Unity engine at some point, I decided it was time to swallow my pride. I looked up a YouTube tutorial. Eventually, I decided to follow this tutorial by the channel Expanse VR, and I followed along with its first few episodes. Through watching this series, I slowly learned the basics of how to handle the Unity UI, some basics of how programming worked. It was fun. I still didn't know a lot about coding, but at least school did something useful for once. My high school offered a programming course for a year, as an orientation of the nature science program I was already doing. Now, with the knowledge acquired from YouTube tutorials and Python programming in school, believe it or not, I was still completely fucking incompetent. But I was incompetent with passion. I was gonna learn and I was gonna improve and I was going to be the next big indie hit. Then I hit another wall. To make games, you needed more than just a basic understanding of how an if function works. Otherwise, we're just going to be making code that looks like Yandere Simulator. This whole process started a couple of years ago. Up until recently, I've been struggling to consistently get and keep motivation. I'd meet a wall that seemed insurmountable and just give up for a month or two. Later, I'd suddenly get a big jolt of motivation for a couple weeks, which would then die upon meeting either the same wall or a different one just for the same cycle to repeat again. Recently, with kind and encouraging words and support from friends and me getting a new pen in the mail, my motivation has been up and now I have surpassed multiple previous walls without much complication. I also came up with these videos as an idea to mark my progress. If I just work on this constantly without ever actually taking a step back to look at the bigger picture, I might lose motivation really quickly and also not even realize how much work I'd actually completed. I'll quickly get you up to speed on the work that has been done so far. A huge majority of what I have completed is conceptualization. Now, if you do not know what that word means, I do not blame you. This is a word strictly used by people who want to sound a lot smarter than they actually are. People like me. The word means that almost all things that have been done are ideas and dreams and intentions, but nothing actually physical has been completed yet. I've set up a spreadsheet on a website called Trello.com, thank you Danny for the example. I've also written down a bunch of physical notes in inspiration, due to just general inspiration, and also this pen, I just got a lot of fucking juice out of this. In my written notes, I've defined the general gist of what I'd like the first 2 chapters to be, whatever that ends up meaning in the context of the final game. I'd give you the name of what this project is called, I just don't really have one yet. My current goal for this project is to turn my ideas I have for chapters 1 and 2 into an MVP, a proof of concept of sorts. Now, if you'd like to see how that pans out, I'd say you have to check it out next time. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and tickle my balls.